growing up, I just wanted to be that kid that was like my dad. To hear the stories of spearfishing trips from the past, following him into the ocean, just trying to relive those memories that he was having and trying to see them through my eyes.
In Hawaiian culture, the first Hawaiian's name is Hāloa. In direct translation, Ha is your breath, because the Hawaiians would believe that your breath contained your soul. Loa is long. So Hāloa is the long soul. It's the long soul of the land.
Okay, hurry up. Get the move. Come on. It doesn't make me any prouder than seeing my kids jump forward and grab a fish out of the cooler, take it to the table, grab the scaler. Yeah, like that. You know, I take great pride in knowing that my kids know that their fish have scales and guts. Yeah, they have gills, and they aren't just beer-battered, fried on the dinner table with no bones. You know, and to see them have those same core memories that I have is truly special. Where do you think the heart is? No? Where's the heart? Find the heart. You know, I think when you're 20 years old, you know, you're thinking about the weekend. You know, and it wasn't until I think I was gonna start to be a father that really took a change. Yeah. There's no greater arena than the ocean. You know, I found, you know, my greatest competition was getting food to the dinner plate. I think a lot of kids dreamt of being a bird, you know, or a hawk that soars above everything. And that's what it feels like. You're watching the fish, and then you slowly take your deep breath and you prepare yourself for that drop. And it's that free fall that I love more than anything. I'm pushing the limits and trying to hold my breath and fight that urge to breathe. And that fish is literally fighting for its life. That's what I love about spearfishing, is the connection from outsmarting the fish to getting them on the dinner table just makes the perfect equation to a happy life. I think the phrase is break bread together. In Hawaii, we scale fish together. So that's what we're doing. And so this mu and this moana kali that was swimming earlier today will be enjoyed today by 3 different generations. My son, my daughter, myself, my wife, and her parents and my dad are here for dinner. My father's gonna fry some fish, the same fish that he's been doing since we were little kids. You know, my dad being such an outdoorsman and truly a steward to the land and the sea, I just wanted to be the boy that hung out with him. And I don't know if it's because I'm the middle son and my dad is a middle son, and so he and I just bonded a little differently and had so many father-son experiences together outside. That's where we camped with the helicopter. Yeah. I got in trouble with my girlfriend for that because I missed prom.
You know, Justin has his own set of rules, so it was either this camping trip or the prom. He went camping, lost his girlfriend, oh well.
If that's not a bad motherfucker, I don't know what is. This is up at Granby Reservoir. It's probably 5 degrees outside and he's gonna go catch fish.
You have to do it.
Like that's the dad that you remember. Is that right when I came back home from the hospital?
Yeah.
So that was after my stint in the hospital fighting cancer.
If you look closely, he's got a Hickman catheter here and a tube. That's where they used to do the chemotherapy from. There was a sheet of plastic holding his insides in. See it wrapped around his belly? He had a huge tumor. He was very sick. He had neuroblastoma, and we didn't know until he was about 3 months old. They gave him less than a 5% chance to live. But even in the hospital, even with all of that going on, with the tubes and the surgery and everything, she was always smiling and always in a good spirit. You know, he broke 5 state records in swimming for high school, and he got a scholarship to the University of Washington, and he was actually going to become a doctor. And then he came home and he says, Dad, you know, I'm not going to do it. What are you talking about? He says, I'm going to stay home and fish and hunt and go help you on the land. I was like, really?
So this is kind of like my third brother, my parents' fourth son. And this is our family's reforestation project. It comprises of just under 3,000 acres and trying to bring back a native Hawaiian forest. They used to thrive here once before the cattle industry kind of took over. And so we're just trying to rewind the clock back 150 years, regrow what was once here and what should be here.
In the old days, if you had fresh beef in the middle of the Pacific, it was like gold. So all of this land here was turned into a ranch. They burned the ground, all the trees cut down, but the trees themselves are what create your water cycle. Without them, the water cycle collapses. This is a koa tree, and the koa tree is the dominant tree in old-growth native Hawaiian forests. This tree is designed specifically with this shape of a sickle in order to trap the land sea breeze mist that comes up the mountain every afternoon. And what this leaf does is, in this dry environment, is it traps the moisture from the clouds against the leaf, and off this point it drips, and that's what waters the forest. So without the koa tree, you lose the water cycle in a native Hawaiian forest.
You know, my dad, he went and got his master's degree in wildlife biology management. His thesis was on the mortality rate of hooked and released lake trout. So he spent a lot of time on the lake fishing, and then the trees that surrounded the lake and the rivers had to be healthy to support a healthy river system. And so he took that kind of knowledge and started to put those efforts into where we're sitting now in Hāloa.
As we reestablish the forest, what you need is the complete structure. So in our nursery, we grow 19 different species of trees simply because that's the genetics that were here before the slash and burn.
You know, you've got all of the ingredients that make an intact Hawaiian forest in here, and that's what we're trying to bring back. Yeah, you think so? Keep trying. Put your hand around it like this. No, on the top. At the very bottom. Yep. Lower. Lower. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Now put the dirt in. Okay. Can you guys say something with Daddy? Can you say Eola?
Eola.
Eola e.
Eola e.
Eola na.
Eola na.
Ko.
Ko.
Ne. Eola e, eola mako ne means if you survive, we survive. Yeah? Okay, let's go dig another hole.
This past year in 2023, we got to 40 inches. We just broke 40 inches of rainfall. So it's been a steady increase from the 18 in 2009 all the way until now. Every year it's gone up. And it's because we have more trees.
Come on, come on. How are we going to do this? How can a family come up and figure out a way to restore a forest without already having a large bank account? If we take the cattle off the land, how do we pay the bills? And what it was pretty evident that it was sandalwood, the harvesting of dead and dying sandalwood trees. What we deem a harvestable tree is a tree that has less than 50% of its canopy intact. And so a lot of our wood is dead. It's live, you know, so like this log, it's all rotten in the middle. This is a prime example of what we want. And then from here, we're able to chip the wood, and then from the chipped wood, we take it to our granulator to get it one more size smaller. You start to dive into the history of sandalwood in Hawaii, you find that Hawaii's first export was sandalwood. Fast forward to my dad doing research, it's actually a very valuable wood.
The demand for sandalwood has been there for thousands of years. Sandalwood is the most valuable tree in the forest. It's actually a commodity that is traded in Australia, Japan, China, on the international exchanges. And this is Xanthellum paniculatum. And the only place you can find Xanthellum paniculatum is on the western side of this island. So we just created a little niche and then use all of the funds to restore the forest. And someday, yeah, there will be money. But our company has never taken a draw. Nobody has ever taken any money out of this company. It all goes back into the land. Yeah? You take care of the land. The land will in turn take care of you. And whatever it gives you is all you need. And it works. It really works.
Do you like looking at books? Looks so cute.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a baby.
You see it?
It's in a cocoon.
Your dad's gonna look at it. That saying always comes out when I think of my dad is, you know, a great man plants a tree knowing he'll never sit in its shade. And the benefits of what my dad is doing now isn't for him, it's not for me. It's for my kids and, lucky enough, my grandkids. You know, and I think that the legacy of my father, you know, the Wade Lee legacy, is gonna be so much more than just Hāloa, but it's gonna be a movement created from Hawaiians for the rest of the world.